So my name is Mario Ubiali. I am the founder and current CEO of Thimus. And Thimus is originally an Italian company like I am. I created it in 2016 and now 9 years down the road, we are in 5 global locations. And what do? We specialize in sensory neuroscience, and we created a scalable platform called the T-Box that a lot of ingredient and food companies are utilizing around the world to do one thing and one thing only, and that is measuring food emotion. The key takeaway today was that by deploying a tool like the T-Box that allows to digitize brain response to food and beverage in real time with normal people who are not trained to taste, people who are not so easily asked what exactly went on in terms of their emotional response to something, we can now tap into, with the T-Box, we can tap into those processes that are called implicit, and that allows us to have data-driven product development, which is not just product. It's the product and its experience. Because this is really the message from neuroscience. The message from neuroscience is that there is no such thing as food in isolation. There is food that is being consumed by humans, and so it's always a story, it's always an emotion, it's always a context. The T-Box helps unveiling the data behind that. I think there are several different stories about interesting outcomes. Maybe the most obvious that is surprising and maybe not so surprising is sometimes what happens in the brain is very different than what people tell you. So I remember we did a study a few years back when everybody was talking about plant-based alternatives to meat. And in the United States at the time, everybody was saying that, of course, everyone will want to eat plant-based alternatives. All humans will embrace this product because it's going to save the planet. And one of the biggest surprises out of the studies that we ran in the United States and then also in Europe is that no, they don't. Because if the product doesn't taste good, feel good, if it doesn't have a story, if it doesn't fit into who I am and my story and my identity, I'm not going to consume it. And so I think one of the biggest surprises all along the history of Thimus is always how much we tend to forget that we do not do things for rational reasons, especially when it comes to food. I see this going to being a tool that grows, that gets simply put, this is going to be how products are going to be developed and tested. So in 5 to 10 years, there will be no such thing as developing or testing a product without sensory neuroscience. So I see our technology becoming a standard, but I also don't want to think of a standard that doesn't evolve. So I see it coming to the market and growing, utilizing advanced analytics and AI, integrating with other data streams coming from many other sources. So I hope and dream it's going to be a dynamic process and one that is going to open up this possibility to as many players as possible. This is my first time at Gulfood, and when I was invited by our partners at Givaudan, I was immediately very excited and electrified. I think Dubai and generally speaking this area of the world is expressing dynamic energy. It's really electrifying to be here. You can really feel the vibe. So pushing the narrative, telling the story of this frontier that we are exploring at Thimus in a place where being at the frontier is the daily thing makes me feel at home, because usually I'm not among such visionaries in many events. Here you feel the majority are visionaries, so it's good to have jumped into the future of food already.